All righty. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, my family. Ooh, it's going to be so loaded today. Very, very loaded. Not going to be doing so much of the call dropping today. It's more of the information dropping for a day like today for a team of your stature. I'm here to share with you what's going on in the collective, what's going on in the suit, what's going on out of the suit, what's going on in the subconscious mind, and what's going on with the mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Galactic Tarot. I would love to just start this off with a big Happy New Year to everybody, a big, massive shout out to all of you that have been subscribed to the channel, but most of all to the patrons that make this channel possible, that make this truth. And regardless of what our truth is, as our truth shifts and as we come to terms with what our truth is in that present moment, the people that have been supporting me through that, I thank you from the bottom, the top, the front, and the back of my heart. And they go as follows. Amanda E., I see you going, my brother Ivan, but you know I'll always love you, my brother. My sister Christina, my brother Johnny. We got Ashley, we got Ann, we got Samantha, we got Zeta. What up, Zeta? Okay, I didn't even notice you. Thank you. Welcome. Rodriguez, welcome. Wendy Lux, Linnell, Michelle, Josie. I see you, girl. I got Happy Granola. I got Stacy Rodriguez. I got my sister Diana. Diana holding it up. I see you, sister. Alyssa warding off evil. I wish I could remember who this is. It just says private information. Tayana, my sister queen, doing the work in Phoenix where it's not always so easy. Oh, my sister, Bomi, my sister, Nicole. We got Varsha, where you at? Varsha, I freaking love you. Diane, Mama, Diane. Mary, Renee, Joanne. Did you see the interview with Joanne? Joanne, I have no words. My brother Corey. Yes, Corey's here. Some people think Corey isn't here. Corey is here. I freaking love you so much. Linda Lee, Deanna, Sherry, Jordan, Cheryl, Carrie. I want to growl for you guys. I love you so much. Katie, Danielle, Willow, Julie, Kathleen, my brother Shane, my brother Michael, my sister Debbie, holding it up in my old home state. I see you, Mama Bear. John, my brother, slightly reddish, slightly pinkish, slightly magenta. I love you so much. Happy New Year, my brother. Austin, oh my God, I love you, bro. And my brother Grant, I see you, man. I see you. We're going to do some serious work together, my man. Aaliyah, Denise, Carrie Lynn for the win. And last but not least, Catherine, the original Gangsta Burn, and my sister from another mister, Mary. And now you've all been freed. Okay, moving on. Okay, here we are. Here we go. All right, my family, let's actually talk about this. Let's actually talk about what is taking place, what has been taking place across time and space. Okay, so should I just start off with the scenario? Yeah, let me just start off with the scenario. We're going to get right on into it today because the patrons reading is today, everybody. So I'm going to just get right on into the scenario that's been taking place across time and space for quite a while. The fractalization of the archetypes and where this came from. Actually, no, let's pause. We're going to start off with Ram. Isn't that right, Ram? Okay, we're going to start off with Ram. All right, so the 7 sound frequencies, the 7 sounds, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Okay, so these are all the, might get this shut down today. Like I'm already getting pop-ups. No, I don't want to see more. Get out of here. Oh my God. All right. Oh my God. No, look at this. You guys are just weakness permeating, not you guys at home. That old school Jove, Zeus. I'm about to drop a Zeus. Get out of here, son. You're not dad. You're never going to be dad. Okay, anyways. Let's really do this. Let's do this. Okay, Ram. All right, so do, re, mi, mi, mi. I was not trying to throw you off the bird. Me. Okay, Ram. So Ram, what is Ram? So Ram was used by Hanuman, that fighting Buddha that we all love so much. Let's bring that microphone a little closer. The fighting Buddha that we love so much, the Monkey King, the body of Shiva and the tail of Shakti together as one. Oh, the integrated, the inner child. Love him so much. So when, what am I getting at? When Hanuman was sentenced to death, because, you know, sometimes the child does crazy things and we love him so much. But when the child was basically sentenced to death, how did he stop the incoming arrows from God? How did he stop the arrows that, like, an order was given on above him, above his stature, okay, if that's even possible, and the arrows were flying in? He stopped the arrows with the sound of Ram. So let's talk about the sound of Ram. Let's talk about the sound of me. Let's talk about real magic right here. Are you enjoying your New Year's video yet, my family? Okay, so do, re, mi, mi. Okay, so when we see these sound frequencies, what do? They go from left to right. But for a moment, let's turn that mofo straight up, okay? Let's try this, okay? So if we get a me, if we get a me, okay, now what are we doing, okay? We've now just created walls to a container, and that sound of that container of the solar plexus chakra, which is the next video to come with the chakras, but my family needs magic. Okay, let's do this. All right. So the sound of Ram is what stopped the arrows in the air. Now, the arrows did not hit the field and then fall. It actually performed time magic, which is something that is done by the inner child, which is what you guys are. You guys are light benders. You guys are time magic magicians that can do this. And all it really is sound, a very slight inflection of sound. And you will be able to hear the difference that your eyes cannot see. I could show you two colors of yellow and they would look identical, but one of them would actually be distorted. And this is why we need to step more into the sound and into the feeling rather than, as much as people are in the upper chakras. So yeah, a good ground, a good solid ground. So if we set a Ram, okay, on one side, and we set a different pitch of Ram on the other, and we fill that container, what do we have here? We have a field that arrows cannot penetrate, that nothing can penetrate, that dark magic cannot penetrate. So let's set that little Ram container. Let's build that container around this house and up above. Beloved, I am presence bright. Round me seal your tube of light with the sended master's flame called forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord that is sent to me. I'm calling forth the violet fire to blaze and dismute all desires, keeping on freedom's name till I am one with the violet flame. Things like that. Things like that magic that some of my family needs as we go through this gateway. We will be talking about this gateway quite a bit today. He's already triggering people. I love it. Bye-bye. See you next time. Anyways, let's go forth now. The scenario. What is the scenario? So upon certain family members, whether they want to admit they're family members or not, certain things were placed in the ground, certain things were done, and certain people that were all connected. Okay, so what is actually taking place here? You, my family, whoever you are one of the threads. Is that thread breakable? No, it is not. But when all of those threads work together simultaneously, which is what the goal has been, and this is the scenario in itself, is where I'm going to start from. Those threads form a rope, and the rope is truly unbreakable. Because in the as above, so below functionality of this multiverse that we all exist in, one of the threads might be in some, oh, I'm thriving. All of a sudden, a certain astrological frequency goes above, as above, so below. And it seems like we need the other threads of the unbreakable rope to remind us that, hey, your container is completely perfect, your container is completely full, and your container is overflowing enough that you cannot be drained by vampires, you cannot be affected by darkness. The one is in the all, and the all is in the one. So sometimes we need these things to be taking place, and we need these reminders from our family, from spirit, also from time to time. So to start off from there with the scenario, what is the scenario? So at 11 o'clock on 11/29, okay, in Sedona time, at exactly 11 o'clock, certain people, okay, Alexander spoke his mind. That's a video for another day. because that's a whole thing all in its own essence. But Alexander was speaking about what's taking place with the children and some of the belief structures on the children and some of the things that are taking place on Patreon. Check out the Patreon if you want to know what I'm talking about. And oh my God, did he ruffle some tail feathers, which is beautiful and fine in its all essence. But basically what had happened was, speaking in New York tongue, big shout out to my New Yorkers out there. Love you all so much. Donna, where are you at, sister? Okay. Anyways, when these sort of things take place, okay, it is very, very shifting to see when somebody sees someone else speaking truth to a degree that they are still scared to speak to that level of truth in this past timeline because of what took place, because of certain parameters, because of certain as above, so below functionalities of where they were in the scenario, when the scenario took place, which I will be getting to very, very shortly. But basically, the two archetypal frequencies which became very upset was the archetype of Pallas Athena and the archetype of Demeter, which many of you have not heard me talk about yet, but Demeter. And these two frequencies, these two functionalities that I thought were working with me, many of you that are the patrons will know, like, I've had these conversations. I talked about Pallas Athena taking a knee. I'm not sure if I talked about that on YouTube, but certain things that Spirit was showing me, and I was like, wow, Pallas Athena's here. Wow, like there was a time I was in a circle with Artemis and Pallas Athena and Poseidon, and I'm talking and I'm working with these people, and I'm like, look at this, like Eris, Artemis, Pallas Athena, and Poseidon, like four people that have all clashed swords and all hated each other across time and space in the vibration of love, working together. So this was very beautiful. So it seemed like something had healed to a point where it was completed, but now I'm seeing that that has not really taken full effect yet. So what I said at 11 p.m. was, I basically was speaking to the archetypes that have recently left the field, maybe energetically or verbally stabbed somebody in the back, whatever it is. But if somebody was representing an archetype the strongest, what I said to my reality was, plain and simple, get the F out of my house, get the F out of my field. If you're not going to fill that archetype, I need somebody else to fill that archetype that holds that archetype as well, because I have a mission. We have a mission. And the life needs to see what it's like to have the whole rope of all the threads braided together. So when I said this at exactly 11 o'clock, I was not looking at the time. When I said basically, be gone with you, whoever you are that is not willing to step into your power. And if this triggers you, then goodbye. I love you so much. Make more room for the people that are not triggered by truth. And I bid you good day. And I love you. And I speak to you in Bashar tongue. But anyways, I said this, and at the very second I said this, I got overcome by, oh my God, Nima, I freaking love you, bro. I did not get overcome by Nima. I got overcome by, oh my God, the nausea. I was out in the backyard. I didn't even think I was going to make it to the toilet to throw up. And I went out in the backyard, and it was like these long, like gurgling frog burps, and I was about to throw up. And then I was like, yeah, I went through that whole like Step Brothers thing. I do not want to throw up all the delicious food that I've eaten. And I was like asking what is going on, because I knew it was real, but I knew that it wasn't real. And I could feel that it was something multidimensional. And when I asked this, I saw the scenario. So here's the scenario. Yes, Veronique, thank you, sister. Gently caress that like button. So anyways, here's what I see, okay? I see this hand, okay? And I see another hand. So I can't even show the way that the hands are, because I would need two right hands, but I see this whole hands holding hands, walking through a gateway that is literally into stone. I see the Mayan timeline, because this is the most recent time, whether this is considered Lemuria, what this actually is. But I see this Mayan timeline of people are showing up. It's time to ascend, maybe a little bit early, because we cannot sully our hands with fighting these people. We cannot sully our hands with fighting back. So it's time to ascend. Okay. It's time to kind of go into the rock, and we all leave together. That's the thing with the archetypes. The archetypes that were all fractaled down, whether it is 3 or 4 or 7 or 14 or 12 or 13 or 20 or 21 or 22, that doesn't matter, my family. The fact of the matter is we need to put whatever that is together as one. We are strongest together. And quite possibly, from me seeing this, for us to all end up in the right place, we need one of each of the archetypes to ascend forward together. So I see these hands holding hands. And like I said, I can't really show you how the hands were holding hands as this was taking place because it was right to right. But I see people like walking into a light baby blue white portal in the rock face. I see this taking place. And I literally see one of the archetypes up above holding up the door. So one of the archetypes is holding up the door. Okay. So who's in the front? In the very, very front is the archetype of Pallas Athena, right after I just said this. So I see Pallas Athena leading the way. And this is the whole mother wolf and father wolf. So the alpha female leading the pack, and then the alpha male watching from the back, just being like, I'm sorry, who the heck are you? I'm sorry, who the heck are you? And mama alpha up in the front just being like, yo, my babies are coming through. Get the God of the way. With all due respect. Just because you say with all due respect, you can't say whatever you want, but you can here at Galactic Tarot. So moving forward, so we see Mama Bear in the front, even though this isn't Mama Bear, because this is what's actually tremendous here. Mama in the front and Father in the back. These two basically have this like single thing going on in the archetypal stories, which is very interesting. And I believe that this is all healed and transmuted through the braiding process of whatever, like looking at these. If you don't like the word archetype, then look at it as a thread, but this thread that goes through all of the realities that is you, that is your aspect of the soul, when really we are the entire rope. But there are going to be certain threads that are stronger for you, and there are going to be certain threads that are stronger for me. So moving forward, we see Pallas Athena in the front. We see the child in the back, or war in the back, however it is. And this is like who's holding up the gate. Because here was the plan. We all go through together. We all go through together. We all go through together. And then as who's holding up the door, as who's holding open the door, sees the last person, holds with one hand, grabs, boom, through the door. We all go through the door, okay? We were all supposed to go through the doorway together, because when such a temporal timeway, if you will, or gateway is actually activated, what's really taking place here? This is the equivalent of going up on top of a mountain in a strong wind, dropping a piece of dust, and then getting another piece of dust and dropping that piece of dust, and the second piece of dust landing on top of the first piece of dust. I hope this is making sense to you. But basically, all of the dust needs to go through the gateway at the same time to end up in the same time and place, to end up together. So this separation anxiety, this FOMO, these archetypal frequencies can truly heal, to truly get from point A to point B, which was either the plan or what was taking place or what was happening here. This is what was shown to me. Was the hands, something happened in the hands split. Okay, so when these hands split, so let's break it down to 7, because the 7 days of the week, the 7 sound frequencies, the 7 chakra, let's break it down to 7 for now, which I'm sure there's a way that we can get this higher than that. But 1 up above, holding the archway, okay? 1 way in the front, then we have the people in the middle, which will be summed up as 1, and we have the person that split hands on one side. We have the person that split hands on one side, we have the person in the middle, and we have the person in the back. So the 3, and the 1, okay? So when we have this, we have these people which are taking the role of mom, and these are the ones that are absolutely loved by dad. And we have these 3 people that are absolutely loved by mom, but they're taking the role of dad, because it's an as above, so below, and certain things flipped and certain things shifted in this archetypal functionality of the mother, the father, and the son, okay, this trinity, so to speak. And I'm not speaking from just like when you hear that saying, it sounds very religious. This is not about religion. This is about the archetypal frequencies. This is about getting through this gateway that is coming. The gateway is upon us right now. And so basically here's the scenario. Person way in the front has certain things and certain archetypes, and I'm not blaming these on Pallas Athena. I love you so much. I see you. But there's like certain things with like not being able to be real, so to speak. But also, and I'm not saying this to offend this archetype. I am Eris. I have so many dysfunctions in my archetype. I know this. All of them do. Every single number in numerology, every single zodiac sign, whether you're looking at the 12, the 7, or whatever you're looking at, every single one has high highs and every single one has low lows, because the goal is braiding this all together and all of us working together. So moving forward, in the front, there's this, like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, but also like this detachment. And then in the middle of the front, there's this like, oh, well, connection to technology and what we're doing and what's actually taking place. And then right here in the back where the hands split, this is where a certain form of guilt takes place. But this is not guilt from FOMO. This is a different guilt in the fractalization process, because it's this aspect of the mother of, oh, I tried so hard, I did this, I did that, blah, 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 when in all essence, it's masculine in nature, and it's not feminine. So the feminine is being blamed for an archetypal frequency, which is actually masculine. A lot of this stuff is all messed up, my family. And then where this split takes place, okay, so this person that's like, oh my God, no, in this reality matrix, this person that's like, oh my God, no, the person behind them and the person behind them blames them. And this is where the FOMO comes in. So any of you that are dealing with codependency, any of you that are dealing with FOMO, fear of missing out, anything, this is from this fractalization process. And this is why some of the things that have been taking place in Sedona, some of the things that have been taking place in life, some of the things seem very difficult to even watch and to know that they're taking place, because there's this knowing that we have to do this together. It's the entire round table, if you will, or it's the entire week becoming the strong, the seven working together to all come together as one to ascend and go on together is the only way. It's the only way. So these people are blaming this guy, and then this guy's like carrying all this weight, and then this person in the back is angry about this and saying never again. So all of these fractals then go down to each one of the 7 days, and each one of the 7 days has its own sound frequency, has its own day, has its own planetary structure. All of these things, Moon Day, Saturn Day, Thor's Day, for all these things. Those are all many, many videos that need their entire dissertation, that I've been doing this research for years. So I'm going to pause that right there at the number of 7. But what I'm getting at is this. When this fractalization process took place, this made this basically Mayan separation anxiety from this great split. This made this all start in the family when this isn't where it started. This is the equivalent that has been shown time and time again in movies, time and time again in books and stories and all of it. Like, this goes as far back as this person that trained hard enough. I am strong enough to sacrifice. I will hold up the rock. I will hold up the rock while you go through my legs. It's that scene from the Goonies. When Sloth is saying to Chunk that he loves Chunk, and he's holding, what is he wearing? He's wearing a Superman shirt. What does this represent? He's the son. He's the youngest son. Okay? He's the savior in there. So what is Sloth doing? And I love how I'm relating this to Goonies, but this is how this actually came through. This goes as far back as holding up the rock so people can get out of the cave. And this goes as far forward or as far back as those that stayed behind to protect the Orion Gate in the Gate Wars, to make sure that the ships and the people could get away. This is something that is multidimensional for past, present, future, beginning, middle, and end. And this is something that we have the opportunity to heal now. This is something that we have the opportunity to do now. And I think that is happening one way or another. But this brings up these love codes, if you will. These love codes. So I got some notes over here. What was it? So basically, I'll share a little more magic with you. Spirit showed me how to flip through the pages of my own book from the future. And when let me sip some coffee. Spirit showed me how to flip through the pages of my own book from the future. And when I saw this, there was something that I saw. And what I saw was the greatest sacrifice, the sacrifice of the one that's holding up the rock. And I don't think I'm the only one. I'm not speaking from this as if I am Jesus in the scenario. Every single one of you out there has been the Jesus of the day on one of these days. We have all been asked to step up to the plate, to go first, to go last, to hold the doorway open from time to time throughout time and space. So this is not some sort of bragging, but what I saw was the true level of sacrifice, which I thought I could describe a week ago, that I absolutely couldn't even come near to describing. Because what is this? So like, what is this, even this crucifixion thing? Like, look at that. This is literally holding open the frame of a door. We're seeing this tree. We're seeing this druid dryad magic be perverted. Okay. We're seeing this take place from the Romans, because the Romans were the ones that chopped down the trees. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and research the dryads and the druid videos that I put up on the channel on YouTube. Okay. But basically, what are we seeing? We're seeing an archway. We're seeing Jesus, the Jesus of the day, hold open the archway through his sacrifice. And what is his sacrifice? It's said that he died for the sins. So what does this actually mean, to die for the sins? And this is what I've been sitting with. And this is how I saw this by tuning in on past, present, and future. And if you don't agree with this, that's fine. We all have different belief structures. But to see this past, present, future mentality, and to see this sacrifice, because what is the sacrifice? If we are all fractaled down and we are all separated from this one rope, that then the threads came out, and you can see it like kind of like the rope coming down and then the rope going up, and we have this option of the rope and the rope all being like threaded like this. This is how I saw this on a big spindle. So basically, what is this sacrifice? Jesus saying, I'm going to die for your sins, saying, I will accept all the karma. I will accept all the sins. I will accept all to hold the doorway open for all of you. I accept all of this. I have trained hard enough. That is Goku. That is Hanuman. That is that Christed light. To truly activate the Christed light, it's about getting mentally, physically, spiritually, on the soul level. Just keep getting stronger every single day, my family. And when we continue to get stronger, we can get out of and prove all this stuff wrong. Prove wrong. Like, how does he say that? How does he do that and not get taken out? How does he not get taken out for doing this stuff? Because it's our turn, my family. You look back on October, the things I said in October last year, 2021, and what took place. It's been predictions after predictions of Alexander getting black screens, and that's fine. That's all well and good, because this is all taking place now, my family. And these it's our turn. It's our turn. So any of you that are still scared, gone, like, take that out of here. This is why blank slating has occurred. You want to talk about blank slating? When you would get through to that friend and they're like, oh, and then all of a sudden they'd go, all right, let's go get ice cream. And you're like, but wait a minute, what happened to that realization? You'd had realization in your eyes, and they released that realization. They're releasing that realization because part of their soul knows that the level of love that they need to go through to actually get in place with compassion, to actually get in touch with this sacrifice, they're not ready for that. And they want it to be real. That's the biggest thing. Is it real? So that's why this is probably going to upset some people, and that's fine. Go away, come back, learn this in your own time. It's fine. But if it's not real, there could be a thought structure, and I'm not imposing this or adding this belief structure, but some people could subconsciously have a mind of, am I only sacrificing because I know that this is the way? Am I only stepping into this level of love because I know this is the way, which that isn't even real. The second it's done by one, everyone is saved. To go for the biggest sacrifice, to say, I accept all of your karma. I accept the entire world's karma. You stab me in the back, I look in your eyes and I tell you that I love you. I tell you, here's another knife, or take this one out. Here I am. From love, that is the true sacrifice of accepting these sins, accepting these knowledges, accepting this weight, accepting this work, and knowing that with the right frequencies, with the right mind, body, spirit, foods, things done, all of them, as we check all of the boxes that you know you've been supposed to be checking every single day. When we check all of these boxes, we will not fall over. Watch. Continue to watch your brother. Continue to watch your brother. Stand strong and stay strong, because this is our mission, my family. It's our mission to show the children. It's our mission to show the elders. It's our mission to show everybody, as the people that were born at this time and the people that have been doing this work, okay? And I'm not saying the people that are born at exactly this time. I'm not saying the people that are my age. I'm saying at this time in humanity's ascension of us bringing forward this Aquarian age, or whatever you want to call it, this golden age, this Christed age, where we all activate the Christ Buddha self in the present moment. How do we do that? That's what I've been speaking about. Okay, so Spirit tells me in these numbers of threes. So exactly 3 days. So I was basically shown that's at Sedona time. Okay, so this was the 29th. So the 29th, so all the way to the 30th at 11 all the way to tonight, the 31st at 11, all the way to the 1st at 11, that we were going through a gateway. And this is like, well, no, duh. I mean, some of you won't know this, and I'll share it with you now. But Janus is where January comes from. Janus is the god of gateways, and the god of gateways has all the keys. Okay, so it's like, who's making it through the gateway? I've been seeing people have forced because of what they agreed to, because they are high angelics, and maybe certain things weren't completely in alignment, certain foods weren't completely in alignment, and certain things had nanotech or parasites or bacteria in their body that they couldn't go through the gateway with. I've been seeing people have stones come out of them without doing cleansing. I'm like hearing these stories. I'm seeing these things, which is everything that maybe I said on Patreon, but this is all stuff that was predicted in the past. I said this. I said, if we don't do this stuff, it's going to be forced upon us, because some of us made an agreement to do certain things that it needs to happen. Okay, we need to have this stuff out of us, because some of you are dealing with anxiety, some of you are dealing with sadness, some of you are dealing with anger that isn't yours, because we're having these byproducts, we're having these cortisols be given off from these worms, from these weird things. And guess what? If something's eating, something's shitting. And if something's shitting, it might be shitting in your body. So some of the ways that you're feeling, you're not supposed to be feeling. You're not supposed to be feeling, but you're allowing yourself to be feeling that way because of poor diet, because of poor mental, because of poor what you're watching, or still watching disturbing porno or this thing or that thing. You know what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. You know what feels right and what you lie to yourself out of, replacing one addiction with another. Look right there, 4 people drop out. That's fine. Some people aren't ready to step out of addiction. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but let's go back to Janus for a second. Janus is the one that holds the key. Who else has the keys under their robe? The skeleton key, okay? Because you can't make this up. I can show you everything that I'm saying right now, recorded on Telegram yesterday, okay? So this is not something I planned. I did not plan on the Pope dying, okay? They wear a skeleton key underneath their garb. This was just a couple hours ago, all right? That Pope that stepped down, is how the heck would he make it through the gateway? To me, this is more validation. This is more proof, okay? Like when I saw that guy, I was like literally disturbed and offended by even being human. I looked at this guy's eyes and I was like, these are the most evil eyes I maybe have ever. Like, he makes JP Morgan look like a puppy. Like, what am I looking at? And I'm like, this guy's the Pope? Like, what is even going on right now? And I don't even know. It's just like, what even was that? What was that? But for like this taking place in Europe, obviously, okay, this is like so close to making it to 2023. That's a miracle in itself. That's a miracle in itself. For someone to make it so very close to the gateway, but not make it through the gateway. This is literally hours in any other direction, and this would not be as synchronistic as it is, my family. I'm just wondering if you're paying attention, because when I saw this guy go in there, I was like, what is going on with the Christians and the Catholics? Like, can they not see this guy's eyes? Like, am I taking crazy pills? What am I looking at? The windows of the soul are right here, my family. Somebody's bhakti, or the lack thereof, is right here in their eyes. If you're wondering if somebody's a good person, ask them to take off their sunglasses, for God's sakes. So anyways, and I know I used to wear sunglasses. That was for a reason, my family. That was for a reason. So when I see this stuff taking place, it was only a few hours. It was only a few hours from him making it through this gateway of January. All right, so who else carries a bunch of keys? Janitors, the custodians of this reality. The janitor, the cleanup crew. Who makes it through the gate? This is where the word janitor comes from, my family. So this whole Janus, January, janitor thing, okay? This is 3 days. So at 11 o'clock, tomorrow, so on the 1st, Happy New Year once again, at 11 o'clock, there's some sort of gateway taking place. There's work that right after this broadcast, I got to keep my eye on the time right now. Right after this broadcast, I'm going live with the Patreon family. We're going to be doing some work. We're going to be doing some epic stuff together. Once again, my family, how many times have we seen the work that we do be validated in the periphery, in life? That is life itself. Want to know why? Because that was Christ-like, that was Buddha-like, that was sacrifice. When we took upon ourselves these trees falling down, when we took upon ourselves the destruction of the Orion Gateway, and we said we would heal this, we would transmute this, and we did this work that sometimes took months. That was training, my family, whether you knew you were doing it or not. The people that have been doing these missions and the Stephanies out there and all of you, whether you were just holding space to keep your brother standing, okay, or all of you that have actually been doing the work to make sure that your third eye's turned on and to make sure that you're doing all the physical, mental, spiritual, and soul work that needs to be done on the day in, day out to be these gate holders, if you will, okay? That's not everybody's mission. That might be why that's triggering. Some people have to work on the technology. Some people need to do this in this lifetime because this is happening. As this function of this scenario, if you will, of these 7 people moves around and spins around, there's a time where Alexander won't be sitting here as the god of war. He'll be sitting here as something else, or the blacksmith, or this thing, or that thing. But what's actually taking place here, I can't unsee it now because it's happened through time and space, where there's this fractalization and half of humanity ends up these green angels and half of humanity ends up these blue angels. So how do we get this work truly done? And how do we truly get the thread integrated into one? It will be done. But it's up to us to do the work to release people, to see and heal our codependency. As people decide they want to leave our reality, we need to let them go, identify and know, okay, whatever archetypal functionality that this person had, let's send somebody to me. Okay, and I'm speaking from my own point of view. You don't have to do this. I hold with you what I have learned in this present moment. I now leave room for this archetype to come forward. I now leave room for this archetype to come forward. As this archetype exits, instead of me reaching and going, no, come back. No. That's fine. These people are choosing their path. They're choosing where they are with this separation anxiety because it is gnarly. It is gnarly, and this is where all of this is coming from, and this is why some people went to Andromeda, and some people went to Sirius, and this is why some people went to the Pleiades, and some people went here, and some people, because it's like I said, to go back to the mountaintop. When we let that piece of dust go, as the next group ascends, where do they go through time and space? And this is what I was saying earlier, to drop 2 pieces of dust in 2 different winds and have both pieces of dust land on top of each other, wherever that dust lands off the mountaintop. That is actually easier math than what we're talking about, because this is galactic math that I'm talking about. To step through a gateway of ascension, we need to go through this holding hands with each other, my family. And that's why this stuff is taking place. Is your vision 2020? Because we also had Barbara Walters just exit out. So who's the third person? When these always come in threes. We've got Barbara Walters exiting out. We've got the Pope exiting out, the one that holds the key. And this is, like I said, do the research yourself. Go research who Janice is. I planned on talking about this today with you. Like, the fact that that has taken place is not mathematically sound, okay? Are you listening? Are your eardrums open for christening, my family? Like, please, okay? Please release this stuff. Please release this fear. Please release these addictions and do not replace the addictions with another addiction. We are going through the gateway one way or another. It is my soul's mission. I will find a Hephaestus. I will find a Pallas Athena. I will find a Demeter. I will find all of these frequencies, and we will all do this work together as this 144, the 12 tribes, the 12 by 12, the ones that need to go through and do this work together. Like I said, whether it's 3 or 4 or 7 or 12 or 13 or 14 or 16 or 20 or 21 or 22, it doesn't matter. The blackjack has been exposed, and that's what's taking place in this reality. Whether or not these people are accurate, where the reality is showing you that you can speak the truth and not be punished for it anymore, not be sacrificed anymore. And that's what is more Christ-like than even taking that chance, than even saying, like, the truth is more important. My truth, sovereignty, the sword of truth being held perfectly straight for everyone around me to have the opportunity. That is that Christ-like Buddha self. Is there anything else I have to say on here? I think that about sums it up for today. We got 30 people here. I guess some people are probably already out drinking. We usually have a few more people than that. We did have some people trickling in and trickling out because of the weight of the information. I do not say this stuff to trigger anybody. I say this stuff to trigger a response. I say this stuff to trigger a response of you spreading out your wings, opening up your wingspan, and doing the angelic work that we all came here to do. Okay? All I'm suggesting, if you're being triggered, if anyone's being triggered out there, what is Alexander actually suggesting? That we work together. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty dark. You should be pretty upset that he wants to work together with you. So I bid you good day, my family. Patrons, I will see you very, very, very soon. We're going to get some serious work together. Remember the Ram. Remember you're a Time Lord. Remember, knowing what you need to do now. You see chaos in your day-to-day life. You see chaos in your family. Grab the reins of your life, my family. I know how powerful you are. And however powerful I know you are it's measly. It's measly in how powerful you actually are. But it's our level of self-worth. It's our level of commitment. It's our level of the work that we've done. So if you have been doing anything that you know you're not supposed to be doing, please leave it in 2022. Please leave all of these fears and nanotechs and things and just all of this BS and archons and all the weak sauce, my family. Put the weak sauce down the drain and remember that dark magic cannot affect you and vampires cannot drain you and you are an unstoppable force and an immovable object. My name is Alexander Mazzone. This is Galactic Tarot. I love you all so much and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers. Mwah!